It is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
Hey guys, welcome to another SJPorr review. Today I have the Hop Dragon. This is from 44N 96H46Y, and it is an English amber ale bittered with Pilgrim, dry hopped with Pilgrim and Hallertau. And I've got just a little bit more information on the actual website. It says English ale with an amber appearance that has been bittered and dry hopped with English hops, has a highly attenuating yeast. So this one's going to be really cool because it's with Pilgrim, which is I think it's pretty new. It's a British hop, and it's actually supposed to be pretty fruity, which, I mean, British hops aren't that known for. So I actually have some in the freezer, so I'm really excited to try this one out. Let's open it up here. British ale with a highly attenuating yeast. So yeah, I'm not sure. I wonder what yeast that is. I'm guessing it's one of the British ale yeasts, but one of the better attenuating ones, like for instance, 04 Safe Ale 04 is a pretty highly attenuating British yeast that I've used before, but I don't know much about the other ones, so we're in the dark on that. Let's open this here. Oh, there's a little hiss. Okay, it's in a PET bottle. Got the Tiku glass. Let's pour this in here. Oh boy. Man, I am 0 for 2 on these PET bottles. This one, I'm seeing a little bit of carbonation, but not too much. You guys saw that, right? I am seeing some bubbles rise. So, and it's got a little ring right there of bubbles. But yeah, let's check out the Hop Dragon here. I'm just going to set this aside. It does look to be bottle conditioned. There is a little bit of yeast at the bottom, not too much, so it could be kegged. I'm not sure, but the seal did break on the cap, and there was a small hiss, and there is a little carbonation, but yeah, it's not too much. You can see it's kind of a brown. It's like a hazy amber to kind of brown. I can see the light kind of changes the color. It's coming out really dark on the camera, but when I hold it up to the light here, it's got a little bit more of a kind of reddish tinge. It's like I don't know, like a British mild. It's got that darker British ale type look to it. So can't see really anything. It's very, very hazy, very opaque. Obviously you can see it doesn't really have a head. Just a little ring of bubbles around the edge. Sorry, you're just watching me smell. Right off the bat, I get some nice maltiness to it. It's quite cold right now too, so we might pick up a little bit more off the smell later on. But right off the bat, it's got a nice maltiness that kind of, it's bready, but with quite a bit of the crystal malt, like not toffee, but like a really light hint of toffee type note to it. Definitely a lot of crystal malt. I'm getting the sweet bready notes. Not really getting any kind of hoppiness. I'm gonna try and carefully swirl it a bit, but no, I'm not getting too much. I'm gonna. Ooh, this is not at all how I expected it to taste. It actually tastes hoppy. Not like IPA hoppy or even, you know, normal pale ale hoppy, but I can taste that there are hops in it. And a very different kind of hop flavor than I was expecting. There is a nice fruitiness to it. And that's kind of right up front that I'm struggling to come up with a descriptor for it. It is fruity, but it's not like tropical. It's kind of a muddled citrus type flavor. But it also has a distinct kind of, that's the upfront flavor, and then the kind of, as it trails off, it has that really distinct German hop flavor, which I guess is probably the Hallertau. For sure some malt in it. Given the color, I thought that it was it has a very light body, but that's also, it's very low carbonated. So I'm gonna come back after I let this warm up a bit, because I feel like this beer, I'm drinking it way too cold, so I'm gonna be back. Hey guys, complete change of venue on this one. I actually waited quite a while because I thought that this was probably the kind of beer that really needed to open up and warm to probably about room temperature, which I happen to have this thingamajig here. I can tell you that the beer is at it's about 15-16 degrees, which is room temperature here in my office. So it has warmed up quite a bit. It was my colder fridge's temperature when I first started, and it has opened up a little bit. So I'm just going to quickly go back through. Obviously the appearance hasn't changed there, but I do get a little bit more toffee on the smell. I definitely get a much bigger hit of caramel malts. That maltiness, that kind of like it's toffee, caramel, and then just a little bit of like anise in it that I put it together with like really dark crystal malt or like light chocolate malt. It's not and there's just a tiny bit of hops in it. It's not is a little bit of fruitiness to it. Not like reach out of the glass and punch you like an IPA or something, but there is a nice kind of sweet citrus background in there. But the taste is where it's actually really opened up. Again, it doesn't taste anything like it smells. All of a sudden, the warmth has kind of brought out this... It's really tough to describe, but it's this big... It's like a of fruity. I don't want to say tropical, but it does have a really bright character to it. And since I'm so unfamiliar with Pilgrim, it almost tastes like estery, like a kind of fruity yeast character, and I can't really tell where the yeast esters and the hops, like where the hop ends and the yeast esters might, but they're playing really nice together. This British ale yeast and this Pilgrim hop. But yeah, nice. It almost tastes like there's a slight candy flavor to it, because it's got kind of a sweet caramely type thing that plays with the fruitiness of the hop and the maltiness, that kind of dark crystal. But yeah, very thin, very almost completely uncarbonated. I don't know whether that's by design or if it's something that happened in the package itself, but it doesn't hurt the beer. It doesn't hurt the flavor of the beer too much, which I think that by style, if this is something like a British mild, we're kind of looking for that cask-esque, almost lack of carbonation. Although this is less carbonated than even like a cask ale, but. Where it does hurt the beer is definitely in the aroma. I think that probably some of that very like subtle hoppiness in the aroma might have come out a bit more if there'd been a little more carbonation, but I don't know. And it also makes the beer, it's very thin, very very light bodied. So, but it's not entirely flat. Just very, very close to it. Final thoughts. I like the beer. It's a very nice twist on. I'm just gonna call it like a mild, like a British mild. It smells kind of mildy. It's got the kind of look. I mean, amber. Yeah, I keep calling it mild. Amber-ish, yeah. I don't know a lot about British ale styles, but it's very deceptive. It's very cool that it smells kind of malty and it looks, like an amber ale. And then you drink it and it's got that cool little citrusy, that little pop in there, and that's really nice. Sorry about that. There's little to no bitterness in it at all, but it is. It doesn't really need it because it's not very highly carbonated. It has a really high drinkability, although I almost think that a little bit more carb would make it more drinkable. And again, I don't know whether this is by design or not, but I'm gonna go with my only big flaw in this is the lack of carbonation. And I think it could be a completely different. I mean, it could be a completely different beer with carbonation, and whether it would be better or whether it would detract a little bit, I'm not 100% sure. But it is a nice little beer, and I don't detect any other than the lack of carbonation, which again I don't know whether it's by design or not. I can't detect any off flavors or anything like that. It gets me excited for, also maybe if, probably my only other small criticism would be that it could use a small amount more body. It is a little, it's a dark beer and it smells very crystally, or it's, when you drink it you think, oh, this is going to be very, very sweet, very full bodied, but it's not, so. But other than that, it's very drinkable. Really nice beer. I really like this hop. I'm excited to use it myself. So, all right. 44N96H46Y. Thank you very much for sharing this. And I've written my notes up here. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Cheers.